Hey guys, welcome back to Vince-Vell Customs. This is the final video of the PrototypeZ Sagat resin paint up. Now, I want to thank everybody for saying they enjoyed the videos. It's helped them out. It's given them some, courage to get out there, buy a kit, and get into the hobby. Maybe pick up an airbrush, a paintbrush. Maybe you just don't even want to paint, but you want to put it together. So you could buy the kit. You can sit there, you can sand, you can glue, and then you can find a painter. So it's not like you have to do everything in one shot. If you want to hire a painter and you like someone's work, but you don't want to pay all that money, you can actually say, okay, I'll sand them down, I'll prime them up, I'll pin them, and then I'll send you the statue. So if the painter can say, oh, okay, you're just going to send me the statue, I don't have to do any prep work, and I can just start painting, that saves you money. But maybe you want to actually, maybe you want to paint, but you don't want to do the prep work. You can find somebody to say, hey, can you put the statue together so I can paint it, so you can do that. So there's options. And there's a lot of stuff you can do with this hobby and what PrototypeZ is doing. So, you don't just have to go to PrototypeZ, say, I want to buy this statue, but I want your painter to do it all. You can do other options. Send it to me, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll send it to this person. Maybe you're not good with skin tones, but you can put it together, you can send it to someone to do the skin tones, but you can get it back and you can do all the outfit stuff. There's just lots of options, there's lots of things which you can do, and it's just all about what you feel you can, what you can't. Maybe you want to do the whole thing from scratch, maybe you want to get into the hobby. So that's pretty much why I did the videos, just to get everybody just the knowledge of what goes on, what's involved, and what you can do. Now what I did is what I wanted to do. Now you don't have to do that. You can attach the arms, you can attach the head if you only want that head. You can attach them to the base. If you want to paint all the pieces up and then just glue them in at the end, you can do that. You just got to know that certain things might not fit because every casting is always different. And it also gives you an idea of everything I've done here and everything PrototypeZ casted up and did. It's the same thing that goes on overseas. So when you buy a statue at a comic book store from coming from China, they're doing the same thing that we did. Basically, they get the master, they mold it, they cast up pieces, whether, this leg is cut here, the arm's cut there, the head's cut there, and they cast it all up, and then they actually put the pieces together too. Or if it's like a female that's got a glove, but, the glove goes over the arm, they'll actually paint that up, and then they'll just glue it at the end. So, all these pre-paints are the same exact thing. So that's why I did these videos, to give everybody an understanding of what's involved. So now, with all that being said, he's all done. What I had a problem this week. I primed them up as you saw in my first video, and then I started putting them all together. That primer was fine. That primer stuck to the resin, no problem. But what happened was, after I put them all together and I'd seamed everything and I primed them again, I used a different can of primer. That primer was actually bad. It must have been an old primer that was in like a warehouse, and then what they did was they picked it up and it might have got mixed up with some new primers, and I happened to get it. Now, I have never had that issue since probably 2006. I had a bad can of primer, I sprayed it, and it was just cracking everywhere. And the reason why I found out the primer was bad, because I thought maybe I did something wrong, or that maybe I didn't actually clean them enough and there was too much mold release. Some of my other custom statues that I sprayed with the same can of primer, they were cracking too. So I found out that I looked at the bottom of it, and I was spraying it on some test stuff afterwards, and I found out that the primer was just bad. So it's not, I'm not saying that every can you're going to get is bad. It's just that it happened that I got a bad one, and it hasn't happened for me in years. So, you win some, you lose some, but that's part of the hobby. So basically what I had to do was I took all the paint off of him with the primer. I don't do this, I don't suggest it, there's other ways of doing it, but what I did was I put him in an acetone bath real quick, brushed him real quick, I went fast, took him out, and I washed him up, scrubbed him down, dried him, made sure there was no, problems with everything, and it worked out. So I got a nice good new can of primer, I tested that on something, that was fine, so I primed them all up, I got them, and I redid them, so I busted my ass this week just getting all this done. So, I've had it. Sometimes stuff goes smooth, and sometimes everything goes bad. And basically, if something's going wrong, just put it aside, walk away, come back, and then you'll get back into it. So don't try and rush everything. So, but he came out pretty cool. I'm really happy with everything worked out. You know, so now he's all done. I pretty much match up the skin tones to the heads because the heads were actually fine. I used different can of primer for those than this, so you know, it's cool. But he's pretty much all done. You know, everything's sticking pretty good. I made sure everything was good, and you know, so I'm really happy with when he came out. I even did the little tiger on this thing because I followed the Street Fighter 4. You know, to the best of my ability to do that. So it's pretty cool. So that's pretty much Sagat in the video. So I'll show you what I did with the rest of them. I wanted to do something a little bit different with the base, and I really wanted to try and, you know. So what I did was I signed the bottom of the base. I put up felt pads, and that little square piece with the number that PrototypeZ sends you, I actually dremeled out the area and I glued it in. Now it's not completely perfect, but at least the base and my statue is pretty much numbered now. So I did this extra step. Now I could have just glued it on, but the problem was it was going to hit these felt pads at the bottom, so I just kind of dremeled it out and glued it in at the end. So that was a little extra touch I did with mine. And then basically I'm a fan of the lava stage, so I did the lava base instead. I wanted to do something different than everybody else was doing. So basically, you know, PrototypeZ showed you a rock base. Now, this is my kit. This is what I wanted to do. And I didn't want a rock base. I wanted a lava base because I figured if I'm doing a Street Fighter 4, the way this was designed in here, I figured, you know what, let me try lava. So I did my lava paint up that I've showed in past videos before. So that's pretty much how that came out. So hopefully you guys like the little extra touches I did for all this. You know, it was pretty cool. So I had fun with that. So we'll zoom out and I'll show you with them on there. So he goes into the base pretty cool, you know. Let's see if we can come back a little bit. What I'll do is we'll do a nice video at the end. I'll do a nice 360 video just to get him around, but came out pretty cool. And for the final touch, I did the chrome flames on him. So as you can see, chromed them out, and it came out pretty cool. I really like the way this looks now. Now, you know, this is the fun thing about the hobby is you're going to see a lot that have the clear resin, and I'm going to have the chrome. So I like the way they came out. Really nice and shiny. So it's pretty cool. So, you know, I'm really happy with the way things worked out. I'm really thrilled that PrototypeZ is doing this stuff. I'm hopefully, you know, these videos help deal you guys out. And I really appreciate you guys watching. You know, if you have some friends or family that are looking to get into the hobby, or if you're looking to get into the hobby and your friends and family are like, why do you want to do that? Show them some of my videos. See, you know, show them what's involved. It's not just, you know, slapping some paint, and it's actually, you know, work, and it's fun though. I find it very peaceful. I could do it all day long. I mean, I wake up, I work on this stuff all day, and I go to bed. It's great. You know, I love it. So basically, that's pretty much the whole entire video. So, you know, thanks for watching. And what we'll do is we'll set them up, do a nice 360 so you can see all the details. And hopefully I get my reuse pretty soon, and I can show you what I do with those. Maybe I'll try something different than what everybody else might be doing. I'll have to come up with some ideas. And we'll be back. Alright, here he is. So we'll get a nice 360 video of him. We'll get up close so you guys can see some of the details. He is one massive kit for a 1/6 scale. Alright guys, thanks very much for watching. I appreciate it. Hopefully it helped you all out. And we'll see you next time when we get some more PrototypeZ kits.